I'm going to share something with you that I have been sitting on for the last 7 years. And that thing is the time lapse of me painting the Big Fish mural. There's a giant trout on 435 East Main Street in Bozeman, Montana. Now this mural is in a super iconic and prominent location on Main Street. It's on the west wall of Montana Anglers. So if you are in the area in Bozeman, Montana, please go by, check it out, and say hi to the Big Fish. As an artist, the reason this mural is so special to me is because it was my second mural, but it was actually my first paid mural, so it felt really important and really exciting, and of course, it is in a super high visibility area. So because I was lacking mural experience, there was a lot of pressure on me to make this mural epic, which I am excited to say I was able to do. So in this video coming up now, I'm going to show you the time lapse of me painting the mural. And then after that, I'm going to tell you 3 really important lessons that I took away from this experience. So if you are an artist trying to hone and improve your craft, you're definitely going to want to stick around for those 3 lessons. But before we get going, hey, what's up, friend? My name is Juliene. I'm a professional artist that takes a lifetime of learning and painting and distills it down into bite-sized chunks so you can paint more and paint better and become that real artist we both know that you have deep down inside. So if you are trying to up-level your artistry, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. All right, roll the tape. So I'm actually super pumped on this because this wall has been painted since 2019. It's 2025 right now, and it has not been tagged or painted over once. And Bozeman isn't a super giant like street art tagging town, but the fact that it hasn't been painted over or tagged at all is just so awesome to me and makes me feel so big in my heart for love for these people. All right, well, there you go. That was a full week's worth of work distilled down into a few minutes. I hope that you enjoyed it. So if you were just interested in watching the time lapse of that video, then feel free to dine and ditch. But if you are trying to uplevel your skills, then stick around, because right now I'm going to share 3 really important takeaway lessons from this experience. The first lesson, which I'm going to make a whole other video about sometime soon, is that the answer is always no if you don't ask. So I told you at the front of this video that this was my first paid mural. And the reason I was able to get this mural in the first place was because I cold called Montana anglers. As an artist that was interested in getting into mural work, I started making note of all the empty walls around town, and I just started calling them up. Luckily, this company was super interested in having a mural on that wall anyway, so it was a perfect fit. I know it can feel really scary to put you and your art out there, but remember the answer is always no if you don't ask. So you have to push through that fear and just put yourself out there. The second really important lesson is that you have to trust yourself, your abilities, and you have to be patient with your art. So nowadays, when I plan and design murals, I use my iPad and Procreate to literally draw the mural onto the wall on my iPad. But this was before I had an iPad and before I even knew what Procreate was. So on this one, I literally did a watercolor. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Where is that? I've been looking everywhere for that watercolor big fish painting reference I did. I can't find it anywhere. If I find it, I'll upload it to the community so you can see it, because I think it is crazy now with as much experience as I have now, looking back at like the crappy reference I used for that giant mural is crazy to me. So I really wish I could find it, but I can't. So when I planned this one out, I literally just did an approximation of the wall and sketched that out on paper and then painted a watercolor as a reference. So the reference that I was using to actually paint on the wall was not very accurate at all. So when I painted the fish, the angle of it was totally wrong. And I kept having to redo the angle and step back from it and observe and think and try it again. Here, let's watch that part again. Now, like we said, murals are super public pieces of art, so you have to be patient and take your time. Now, I probably looked a little bit silly redoing this angle a whole bunch of times and stepping away from the wall, or starting a mural without the iPad and the Procreate combination in the first place, but it doesn't really matter because I trusted myself and I was able to calm down, focus, and go slow, and after enough iterations, I was able to get that angle right. So again, trust yourself and your skills and be patient with your work. This, of course, applies to smaller pieces as well as murals. So this third lesson is that you have to know when to listen to other people's feedback and criticism and when to ignore it. It is really easy as an artist to be protective of your art. You're like, no, this is my vision, and your ego gets all involved. But sometimes other people have really good feedback. So towards the end of the mural, when I was finishing up the fish, I was out there painting before the street got really busy, and I was having a really hard time with the water break. And this was, again, because I wasn't working from an accurate reference image. And so where the fish was coming out of the water, I didn't really know what to do with the water. Should I create a splash that comes out of it? Should I not? I actually did create a splash that came out of it, and then I painted back over it. And I was standing back on the sidewalk looking at the wall, trying to think through the situation when a stranger approached me. By the way, stranger, if you were ever watching this, thank you so much. And he also had been looking at the wall. He said,
"Hey, I love what you're doing here. I'm a professional fish photographer and your water break doesn't look right."
And we had a back and forth conversation about what I was doing. I showed him my reference image, which again was not accurate. And he totally convinced me that I needed some splashes to come out of the water to make it look accurate, and therefore more engaging in this context. Let's look at that part again real quick. So had my ego been so large that I wouldn't listen to this stranger, this mural would not have turned out as great. So just because you are an artist doesn't mean that you can also channel somebody else's knowledge and vision into what you are creating. And again, it's up to you to know who to listen to and who not to listen to, or what advice you want to take or not. All right, so those are my 3 really big takeaways from this painting. Can you please do me a favor and drop a comment below and tell me which one of these 3 lessons you resonate with the most? I am super happy to finally get this time lapse out to the world. And again, if you are in the Bozeman area, go by and check this out. It's at 435 East Main Street on the west wall of Montana Angler in Bozeman, Montana. And while you're there, take a pic and tag me on Instagram at juliene.sinclair. So if you are an artist trying to uplevel your skill, then you are definitely going to want to watch last week's video, which is all about a word that is slowly destroying your life and completely ruining your creativity. You won't want to miss it. And lucky for you, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just click on it because it's coming up right now.